Good morning again. This is M, CEO of the Soul Focus Group, and this is my opportunity to talk with you. I'm on the trail again. I love doing this outside thing because it feels good and it feels like I'm taking you someplace. I have so much to be thankful for, and I think, if you look into your life, you will find the same thing, that you have a lot to celebrate. And if you don't take the time to celebrate what you've accomplished or what you've overcome, what you've lasted through, what you've survived, then you essentially cheat yourself of the opportunity to become present to who you are. Because the things that we've survived, the things we've overcome, the things that we've achieved are all mirrors reflecting back to us a piece of who we are. So if we are to get to know ourselves in its truest sense, we must study the things that we've achieved, the things that we've overcome, the things that we have conquered, the things that we have even fallen victim to, the things that we've had to surrender to. We have to study those things because they are all mirrors reflecting back to us who we are. Fame is the name of the game. When I say fame, I'm talking about being known, your soul being known. And to be known, you have to make yourself available to be known. Making yourself available or being available to be known in the moment is what it looks like and sounds like to be authentic. One of my colleagues, Bonnie Cushion, who's a psychologist, often says and defines authenticity as being available to be known, making yourself available to be known in the moment. And in the moment when you make yourself available to be known, you're playing the game of fame. And like I told you the last time, I spent many years of my life not playing the game. I refused to play the game. Matter of fact, I was trying to pull off what I consider the greatest heist there is to pull off. I wanted to know you without you getting to know me. I wanted to be able to go into people's lives, help them solve their problems, because I was, but I wanted to do that without them knowing me, and so it limited my range of motion. It prevented me from becoming as effective as I could be, because you can't be effective with wanting to be in people's lives and getting to know them, but not wanting them to know you. How could you really touch someone else if you don't want anyone else to touch you? And I'm talking about without physically touching. It is an extreme part of reciprocity in life, that if we want to touch others, we have to be prepared for others to touch us. And for that to happen, our perspective about others have to change. Because, in order for you to allow others to touch you, you have to see that they are worthy of touching you. That they too have an inspiration, and you're not the only one with an inspiration. So as a leader, you have to realize that, first of all, that people are just as good as you. Because see, in a long time, when I was in a character that I hid in a character. That's what we do. We hide inside of characters. When we are children, we are made ashamed to be ashamed of ourselves. And what we do out of survival, we choose a character to play to hide from people because we are ashamed of ourselves. And one of those characters is the hero or the savior. And I chose that character to play to hide in. So I hid in the savior or the hero character. Clever disguise. No one would ever think that I was ashamed of myself playing the hero. I mean, always swooping in and saving people, loaning people money, getting people out of jail, helping people recover their lives. No one would ever think that I was ashamed of myself. Now here's the thing, you can't play the hero or the savior without having an unconscious belief that something is wrong with people. So the whole time I'm playing this character, I'm also upholding the myth that something is wrong with people, that people aren't enough. So because people aren't enough, I've given myself in my mind the perfect reason why no one is to touch me without touching me. No one is to inspire me but me, because they're unworthy. Without even saying it, you are carrying around the baggage that comes with it. If you need to save people, then that means people need to be saved. And why people need to be saved? Because something about people is not good enough. Think about that for a minute. Something in your mind, you believe something about people is not good enough. And you don't realize that's the perfect escape that you're using to prevent people from getting to know you. It is your own shame that you're hiding behind, that you don't want anyone to know that you have. So for years, I played the hero. And you don't realize it, but the hero is also the pessimist. Because behind it all, the hero has to keep doing what he does because he believes that ultimately things are not going to turn out the way that he wants them to, or she wants them to, or they want them to. It's deep. So there's the hero, there's the pessimist, there's the manipulator, there's the black sheep, there's the lost child, there's the comedian. There are these different roles that society offers us to play as a result of trying to escape the pain of shame. And when we start trying to escape the pain of shame, we end up stop playing the game. We stop playing the game. That's what shame does to us. It stops us from playing the game of fame. We stop wanting to be known and we start playing hide and seek. And the name of the game of life on earth is not hide and seek. This is interesting that we use the same language that we used when we were children. We use now as adults when we start understanding the truth about all these things. Make believe, hide and seek, games, playing games. When we were children, we had it right. We came in the game of life on earth because we wanted to come in the game to achieve one magnificent goal. We wanted to be known. And we were willing to do what we had to do to be known. And then someone, through a process of time, those around us started teaching us how to play the game the way they played the game. And the way they played the game was not to play the game at all. And to make sure that we didn't play the game either, they made us ashamed of who we were. Now, they didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't their intention. It was just built into the way things were for them. And they never questioned the way things were. See, what we have to do is question the way things are, because the way things are not the way things have to be. They are the way they are because when your children were born loving and caring and playing with each other and loving on each other and really being creative geniuses, we saw that as a problem because we weren't, because someone had shamed us and therefore caused us to suppress our own creative genius. So we started to teach our children how to play the game just like we play the game, not consciously. Through observation. They observed the way we played the game, and soon they learned that, I got to play the game like my mom and dad plays the game, or I have to play the game like my teacher plays the game. And the game that we play as adults on children is shame. We shame them. We shame ourselves, we shame them, and shame makes us a sham. Shame makes us a sham. And what is a sham? A hoax, a fake, a pretend, a pretender. A sham. So now ask yourself this question and be honest. How often in your life have you showed up pretending? How often in your life have you altered your natural expression to please other people? Every time you seek to please people, every time you alter yourself, every time you edit what you want to say in your mind to say it in a way that you think will please or will get over to other people better, you are making yourself a sham. You are preventing yourself from what? Being known. Like I remember when I was younger, when I had one of my first cars, one of the materials I would use to wipe my car was called a chamois. A chamois. And that's what we end up being in this world, a chamois. Someone who's ashamed to be themselves, who's going to be used by everybody else until they get back to being their authentic self, until they get back to that voice that wanted to be known, that voice that wants people to know you. I'm going to say it again. No living being wants to be invisible, unknown, obsolete, obscure from anyone else. We want to be known. It is our greatest desire to know who we are. Everything in our life is reflecting back to us aspects of who we are for the purpose of knowing ourselves so we can allow others to know us. I'm M, CEO of the Soul Focus Group. That's not who I am, that's what I do. who I am is an unfolding phenomenon. So are you. Peace.